Hello and welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here, sitting in my car, about to pick up Mick Molloy, one of the greats of one of my favourite comedians. He makes me laugh. I'll probably laugh a lot through this interview. He's always made me laugh. And so I'm picking him up from a Greek restaurant, and then we're off to do like a cinema in Hawthorne. Now, I don't know how drunk he can get in a Greek restaurant, but I'm just pulling up. I can see him in the window there. Yeah, he's drinking. Oh, he doesn't let us down, does he? All right. Well, I haven't asked him to do the podcast, so let's see how we go. And I'm sure he'll do it. He's accommodating, and especially when he's half cut. Come on, that's passing aspersions. He's probably only had one drink. Anyway, I'll just go grab Mick. Ladies and gentlemen, Mick Molloy. Now, you're not too drunk, but we are going to a theatre, Mick, a cinema. I don't know if you can get too drunk in a cinema. I don't think you can.
How expensive would it be to get drunk in a cinema?
No, free drinks, the guy told me.
So where are we going?
We're going to the Lido in Hawthorne.
What happens there?
Well, I think normally they do like an open mic night on a Wednesday, but occasionally they do a bigger show in the cinema instead of the bar.
They play a movie before us?
No. We could
Terms of endearment, and then you introduce me. So I'll take a quick break for Eat, Pray, Love. Sam Pang will come on.
Yeah, Pang's on as well. No, we should play Crackerjack and you do and we'll play the Nugget and we can have a Q&A.
That would be fantastic.
And we'll say, okay, who liked the Nugget best? Round of applause. Who liked Crackerjack best?
No, we go, who remembers the Nugget?
Yes.
And how does it compare to the Australian classic?
Crackerjack. Well, the Crackerjack did a lot better than the Nugget.
You would have been good in Crackerjack. Why weren't you?
No.
What happened there?
You were playing the big guy role. And
I think you were my stunt double, weren't you?
Yeah.
Man, do you know who was my stunt double?
Shane
Because I can't drive. No, my brother Richard.
Oh, yeah. He
had to put on 20 pounds for the role.
The thing about Richard, though, he used to be fat, but he's not fat anymore.
No, mate, go around to his house and he's collected all the old photographs. Somewhere in his house is a box full of photographs of him as a fatty boomba.
Oh, I remember he was fat. Yeah. I remember 20 years ago. But he's like your sort of partner now.
For Crackerjack, I put on 20 pounds for the role.
Really?
They didn't ask me to. It wasn't crucial to the character.
That's what I said about the Nugget.
I just did it.
People go, did you put on weight for the role? No.
We should have a little Aussie film festival.
We should.
You know what I mean? People would love it. You get dust off the Nugget and Crackerjack. And
the Castle.
Well, the Castle will be too good for us.
That's true.
They'll probably.
Then again,
in
terms of box office takings, Crackerjack did pretty well.
Takeaway? Were you in Takeaway?
Yeah, I was in Takeaway. I wrote Takeaway with Toolman.
You wrote Takeaway?
Yeah, mate. Absolutely.
What else was coming out around that?
There was the Gary Eck and the boys with You Can't Stop the Murders.
You Can't Stop the Murders? Let's put together an Australian comedy film festival and see if anyone turns up. See if any of the actors are still alive. Just you and me at this stage.
Well, yeah. And so how's life? For people who don't know, Mick has left radio. You're doing Drive.
No, I did Drive.
How long did you drive for?
It was only 3 or 4 years in the end, but my whole stint this time round at Triple M was about 10 years.
That's pretty good going.
Because I did breakfast, where you often, that phrase you hear at the end of a buddy cop film where some guy goes, I'm too old for this shit.
Well,
that's how I felt at the end of a 7-year
absolutely.
breakfast. Then me and Jane Kennedy. Here's the trick. Do it with people you like. Do radio with people you like.
She's a nice person too.
She's fantastic. She's a bit like, have you seen Misery?
Yes.
Like Kathy Bates.
She tied you to the bed.
And hammer my ankles together. Call me Dirty Bird. A lot. But, so when you get out of radio, and don't get me wrong, I love radio, and I will be back, because if you ask me to choose out of all the media, that's the one I like.
Yeah, you're very good on radio too, I have to say.
Thank you
very good. I like the characters you do. That's you, isn't it?
Yeah,
You do the Indian guy on the
yeah,
phone.
yes, indeed I do, David. Yes, indeed I do.
No, I think you've...
Throw me anything and I'll do it for you. Go. What do you want?
Sean Connery.
Oh,
It's not bad. You know what? You probably might be You might... I mean, some people are known for mimicry. You're not known for mimicry.
It's not my strong suit.
No, but you might actually not be too bad at it.
Give me another one.
Oh, can you do any politicians? Can you do Anthony Albanese?
No, Johnny Howard.
That's it. Oh, yeah, John Howard.
It's also very close to my...
Anthony Albanese. He speaks like that.
I don't think you can do that.
No, that's right. I know. I did it on a TV show the other night. They edited it out, apparently.
I'm Johnny Howard.
Johnny Howard was...
No, that's not me. That's the old film critic. Who's the old...
Oh, John Michael Housen.
John Michael Housen here. No, I love Cracker Jack Littlefield.
But when you were the DJ, did you ever get asked, like, okay, Mick, you've got to do, I don't know, Bob Pork, or they just said, don't worry about it?
They were well aware of my very limited range. They knew I could do 10 degrees either side of Mick Molloy. But if you ask me to wander beyond that, I'm well out of my comfort zone.
But if you've got a good persona, that's enough. Why would you do anything else?
You know, because I was thrown in with those guys when I joined the DJ, and I was like on work experience basically. I remember filming one of the first sketches I filmed was a ongoing soap, a piss take on a soap. We called it Dinkum Street.
Oh, right.
And I remember one of my first acting jobs was sitting at the bar, and it was with Rob Sitch, and I felt completely exposed. And I said, what do I do? What's the key, Rob? He goes, don't move your head.
Oh, that's a very good...
Do not move your head.
You know what? Before I did the Nugget, Sean McAuliffe said, don't move your head. Or he said, just sort of stay still a lot of the time. And it's very good.
Yeah.
Very good tip.
I was like an Easter Island statue in that sketch.
Yeah, then people say, someone said my acting was a bit wooden. Well,
I wasn't moving.
Someone told me not to move. Well, that's true. When you see people moving on camera, it's very off-putting.
I agree with you.
It's very off-putting.
Well, it's just a bit hammy, isn't it, all of a sudden?
Well, here we are. We're getting close.
Are we here?
Not yet. It's going to be...
I'm glad you said it, because we just pulled up outside a Thai massage place.
There seem to be a lot of them around. I don't know.
What kind of crowd am I dealing with today? Is Hawthorne my crowd?
I reckon...
the seat? Would have been Labor if it's
No,
Hawthorne.
Teal.
It's a safe Labor seat.
No.
No, Bryson.
No, it's Teal. It's Monique Ryan.
Will she be there?
I reckon you could see her with her curly hair. She probably loves comedy. She's got good music taste. She's a big Smiths fan, she said in the paper. Well, I want to meet her and talk to her about music because she's our generation, Monique. But that's, and actually in the state level, it's Labor. It's Labor.
I'm pretty sure I thought Labor took Brighton, Hawthorne and Toorak, which have always been dicey Liberal seats.
Well, you'd reckon they'd be Liberal heartland. No, I know for a fact this is Monique Ryan because she's got an office down here. You'll see her office.
Sounds like you're stalking her. Where are we?
We're in Hawthorne.
I haven't seen so many homeware shops back to back in my life.
You ever been on Glenferrie Road?
No, I haven't. We are. Do you know what? Here's my rule. Yeah. If you can't walk to the MCG, you're too far out of town.
Yeah, you live close, don't you, to the MCG?
The last 3 houses I bought have been at the MCG.
What? I've gotten into footy.
Close to the MCG.
I've gotten into footy recently. It's kind of bizarre. I've become a Geelong supporter.
You told me that. You were a Geelong supporter. We had you on the front
the front back. God, I got a little feedback about that.
What happened?
No, I got a lot of good feedback, yes.
Yeah, well, you were great.
No, it was good fun.
Have to come back on again.
Come back on again. I've run out of... No, I've got a few more footy stories.
Surely you'd have another whole show after the...
Well, I went to the grand final, and that was great. But what was didn't you... You told me you were flying up to Brisbane for the Richmond-Brisbane game, which ended...
Oh, well, it was very sad. It was, yes. So that was us out of the finals. But they tried hard.
Mate, they got to the finals.
Yeah, I said to the strippers afterwards, I need you cheering up. We took it well, and we'll be back, and we've recruited very well.
How many premierships?
Seriously, is there anything on this street other than home?
No, there's a lot of food now.
Shops.
There's a lot of food. This is near Swinburne,
Serge Vidal hairdressers.
This is near Swinburne where my dad worked for years because he was a tape Kev. You know Kev.
No, Kev. I love Kev.
There you go. Oh, that's Melissa.
Man, a very good military.
He's a good military man like yours. He's there. We go. That's the office there. Oh, that's Melissa Lau. Who's she? She's
got it completely wrong.
No, that used to be Monique's office.
Well, she was pretty teal.
She's very teal. No, my dad was in the Air Force.
What's going on in here? Everyone's standing at the front eating ice creams.
Was that an ice
There's
cream
an ice
joint?
cream shop and it's packed. That's like a pub in Richmond.
Yes. My dad was in the Air Force and your dad was in the Air Force.
That's right.
But my dad...
We're RAF brats.
We were both RAF. I remember I was telling my kids we used to go to the Christmas parties at Laverton, and Santa would arrive in a helicopter. And one day, Trevor, our older brother, got on his skateboard and rode on the tarmac and got picked up by the military police and got locked in the jail out there. And Dad had to go and get him.
I don't mind Santa arriving by helicopter, but when he says, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," and tells you all to sit on your helmet, I find
That's disconcerting.
It's a bit much for
We just passed, Leader. I've got a good park at the front.
You've got to put right at the front of the Coles Local, the bottle shop.
I used to go there. So anyway, Kev, my dad, was just in the Air Force as a mechanic.
Yeah.
He looked up your dad because he had a book with every Vietnam veteran in it, and your dad was listed under secret ops or something.
He was.
And Dad said he must have been like a pilot who flew into places, or I don't know.
So he always said to my mum, during the Vietnam War, my mum used to just get like a telegram once you're going, your husband's still overseas and he's indisposed, and we'll let you know any further updates. So I was thinking, that could be true, or this could be the greatest scam of all time.
Yes.
You see it on Current Affairs sometimes, those guys who pretend, but look, I'm in the CIA, so I need to borrow your credit card, because if I use mine, I'll be...
How long was he gone for? Do you remember?
It was 3 or 4 years, I think, for the duration of it. He's still...
he was a pilot, wasn't
You
he?
have to be careful. He was. He's still with us. If he hears this conversation, he probably is.
I don't think he's listening to the...
Do you know what? He's probably hacked in. If anything happens to us, me or Dave, in the next week or two, we've been killed by my dad.
I don't reckon he'll be listening to this podcast, to be honest.
You never know.
I'm just adjusting my levels. Hang on. Yeah, I don't reckon he'll be listening.
That,
It's a bit late for that, isn't it? I'm not very technical-minded.
We probably shouldn't be doing a podcast from your car.
It's very true, actually. It's not a bad point. Yeah, because your dad started an airline in Guam or something.
No, he started an airline in Vanuatu.
That's amazing.
Then an airline, before that, airline in Nauru. And Air Vanuatu. And he really didn't want to come home.
Well, that's my mum used to say about my dad, who joined the Freemasons, the Scouts, the Church Fellowship. He just loved wearing a uniform and hanging out with men. That's what Mum's famous statement about him.
What did he ever tell you? My dad was in the Masons as well. They knew each other from that.
They may have...
I didn't know that till I went downstairs one day and was rummaging through a cupboard and found like a leather skirt.
Oh.
And I went, what is going
And
on
an apron.
here? And like an apron it was. And then I started asking questions. I got shut down real quick. It was they're more secretive than special ops.
Yes.
I reckon.
Now, you know what? This time last week I did a gig for the Masons. Okay. Oh, good Lord.
Do you know the handshake?
No, they were doing it in front of me, but it makes
What do you mean they were doing it in front of you?
They shake each other's hand in front of you, and it's just...
It's like a little tickle.
It is a little thing. But the Masons are average age 85 now, I reckon. They're pretty old, the Masons. So your dad may still be in them. But you know why the Masons were my dad used to hate the Masons, and then he joined them. You know why they were popular in the 50s and that?
No, I don't.
Only place you could get a drink after 6 in Australia. Remember the 6 o'clock swill?
I'm going to join right now. I would love to, but 6 o'clock swill still exists for me. It's like I come home from work, quick, juice me, load me up. I get it.
See, what year did they get rid of that? It was like the 60s, I think, maybe the late 50s.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't get a beer on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been drinking.
Well, the Masons could. And so that's why everyone joined the Masons, Dad told me, because you could get a drink after 6. So those in the know.
Call me Grand Poobah. I'm on.
Well, we've got to go and do this gig.
Let's go do the gig.
I haven't seen Sam Pang yet.
Yeah.
He's on.
Look, you might have actually. It's not that memorable.
Right.
He does a lot of... Do you know what I'm going to do tonight?
Does a lot of charity work.
He hates charity. He did one charity gig with you and me at my school, and I've never heard the end of it. He is completely...
To be fair, though, the school did present us with a box of wine that they grew, made at the school.
From their own vineyard.
Yeah.
But viticulture is a very important thing for kids today. Now, you know what I'm going to do tonight? Don't tell him. I'm going to do all his material and then introduce him.
Great idea.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, great idea. And just say, and then if you get any... Go, Sam Pang might say this and then do some more. And then he also says this. And I had a guy once introduce me and read out some of my jokes from the internet. Dave O'Neill's coming out. He's got some good ones like this one.
I remember seeing Stephen Wright on the midday show with Ray Martin. And Ray Martin, I swear this is true, Stephen Wright, one of the great comedians of the world. They're all punchlines. There's no setup.
It's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it.
It's just bang, bang, bang. Yeah, you know. And so Ray said, my next guest, you might remember from some of these jokes.
Oh, no.
I have the greatest collection of seashells in the world. I scatter them. I keep them scattered on beaches around the world. And they started laughing. And Ray's going, I'm on here. So he then just considered, he did about 8 or 9 in a row to huge laughs. And the look on Stephen Wright's face as he's sitting there watching Ray Martin get laughs for his material is still one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
And did Stephen Wright do stand-up or just have a conversation?
He just was shocked. I don't know if he was booked to perform, but he didn't. He just sat there and listened as Ray did all his best jokes.
Did you ever go on the midday show?
No, before my time.
I did.
Did you? What did you do?
I did 2 stand-up spots and Darren Hinch was hosting. You could have gone on. You started the same year that I did. So, but you were probably doing successful things.
No.
What year was the Late Show? 92? 93?
1896, I reckon. We were still wearing pantaloons. No, 91 or 92, 93.
Yeah. That's when I went on. That's when I went on the midday show.
Well, I didn't have time for that.
No, obviously you were successful.
Stuff.
Anyway,
right,
the first midday show went very well. The second one didn't go that well.
What was the difference?
Well, the first one, when you're a young comic, you condense all your material into 5 good minutes. And before the spot, I went out and I said to the audience, all our ladies, please laugh. My mum's watching at home and dad. And they all laughed a lot. And then the guy went, you were great, come back in like 2 weeks' time. But I had no material.
No more material.
No, so I went and did my B grade stuff and it was...
They didn't care about your mum.
No.
Whatever. They should be embarrassed, ashamed about their boy.
Oh, man, it was the second one was regretful. And also they had a lot of Japanese tourists in the audience.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all. Anyway.
What did you do? Did you do any, kabuki jokes?
No.
Did you do any geisha jokes?
No.
Yeah, this is a true story. There's only one Australian who's ever passed, the geisha school. Who, fully qualified from the geisha school, but she got the sack because she was turning up late for her gigs. I've always said this because,
I didn't know that. There's one Australian woman.
The one Australian woman has passed all the geisha school, got the diploma.
Yeah, it's pretty full on.
But I don't know when I was a kid, I just for some reason presumed a geisha was an escort or provide sexual service, and they don't. You make gentlemen happy by...
It's friendship and talk.
Well, with a tea service or by playing the
musician.
lute. Yeah. And I'm thinking of an Australian geisha with a tea ceremony. I'm just thinking of a tea bag.
Yeah.
Come on. It's Lip Sing Si Chong. You'll love it.
And getting the lute out. What song would you like? K-San? What do we got?
She sits down. You can see a tramp stamp out the back. She loads into some flute.
I wonder what her name was. How do you know this?
Mate, I'm an educated man in the world.
You like a bit of research into geishas. Well, that's something I didn't know.
I have an interest in world affairs.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And women serving you.
Well, yeah, but in a
very platonic
kind
of way. I'm sure. And I'm sure some of them propose marriage and stuff to these women, but they've got to say no and stuff. I read once. They get very fond of their geishas.
But you can't. That's crossing a line. It's like marriage.
Yes.
I really do. Back off. I will mace you.
All right, let's go. Then
let's go do it.
We're going to come back and finish this podcast. We're going to talk about the gig.
All right.
Well, if you're getting a lift home.
Yeah, we'll keep the engine running.
Yeah,
it could be sooner than you think.
The Lido. Here we go. Well, we're back in the car, me and Mick Molloy, and we just did the Lido Cinema. I mean, the cinema, it can be quite dead in terms of sound.
Well, they're not designed. Like a comedy club is designed with a low roof. Usually it's in a basement. We're 4 stories high. We're not making excuses, by the way. We had a ball, and they were a great crowd. In hindsight, selection of material.
The first guy you picked on was a stockbroker.
The first guy I picked on was a stockbroker. He copped it. Then we got a school teacher from a Year 11 private school girls' school. So much material, but none you can do in Hawthorne. You're going through your mental Rolodex going, don't do it, Mickey. Don't do it. And then I would have thought, safe to say, 26 years after the event, a Princess Di joke may have been appropriate. No, too soon, apparently.
No, they. Well, I did a Wayne Carey joke, and they're like, "Oh no." You think Wayne Carey's fair game, but apparently not.
And that said, we shouldn't. They were very good.
They were very nice.
They were
actually.
lovely, but they had the. I don't know what to say about it. Is it a PC line or a woke line where you work out quickly what you can do?
Yeah, but they weren't. They weren't young. I don't think they were young.
They were nice. I don't want anyone to think they were a bunch of dicks, but we were working pretty well within the line tonight.
I reckon.
And it was fun. And sometimes that's as big a challenge as anything, right?
Well, that's right. And Pang was on. He was funny.
He was okay. Yeah, a lot
of filler.
A lot of filler. Not a lot of killer.
Yeah.
Very funny.
No,
we all had fun.
They gave him a great cheer.
Surprisingly popular. What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I don't know. And women love Pang too.
So the phrase I'm searching for, it's showbiz arsehole.
Yeah.
But somehow he's managed to pull the wool.
Well, yeah, he's got that persona, and then he's just like he wouldn't speak to us tonight. He was just he needed a green room, separate green room.
He tried to glass one of the ushers. Can't be changed. That was fun. Thank you. And thank you for giving us this opportunity before we had to hit out to our home crowd.
Yes. So you're doing the Palais this weekend.
The Palais this weekend with great friends.
What's the Palais? Must be 2,000?
I think it's 2,700.
Oh, wow.
Unless we're cramming him in. Unless that's a fire trap.
You've done... Yeah, it is an old theatre, actually.
It's a beautiful old theatre.
I saw Air Supply there.
Did you?
The other day, yeah.
Well, Dua Lipa was there last week.
No Air Supply, but sure.
So make sure you get there on the right night. You could be coming in there to see anything. Air Supply? Are you kidding me?
That was a while ago with Chrissy Swan, yeah. And what sort of people see Air Supply? Fat people and Asians, basically.
Who was better, Air Supply, Hall & Oates? Air Supply were our Hall & Oates, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. You're right. You're right. I don't mind some of Hall & Oates. Who have you seen? What bands have you seen? I saw Madness at the Palais too in the 80s, and I saw Elvis Costello. I saw the Breeders. Have you seen any
Nick Cave?
I saw Nick Cave
at the Palais. Yeah.
Have you met Nick Cave?
I haven't. No. It'd be like two bulls in a paddock.
Yeah.
Me and him. Why'd you ask if I met him? Have you met him?
No, I've never met him. No, absolutely not. But no, I thought you might have interviewed him on radio.
No. Those.
Who have you interviewed that you were intimidated, like you were so excited to meet? Has there been anyone?
Well, the most disappointing ever was Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I love Kiss. I've told these stories a million times, but when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to go to the
you weren't allowed to go to Kiss concert at Waverley Park?
I wasn't allowed. And the last thing I remember is slamming my bedroom door shut before I uttered the words, "I have no mother." Bang. Because I had wallpaper. Kiss,
Kiss wallpaper?
I had Kiss wallpaper. Well, no, it was just posters I'd put up that was...
As a sideline, how is your mum? Because driving around Richmond brings me back to when I used to live in Richmond. I used to see your mum down the supermarket, and she'd say, "I'm cooking Michael's tea," and I'm like, who's Michael? That's you.
If anyone ever calls me Michael...
That's your mum.
I immediately think I'm in trouble.
But she's all right?
Well, she's... I better ring in.
You should.
As of yesterday, she was... hanging in there.
She's still Richmond?
Yes, she is.
Oh, great. Yeah, she was often down the supermarket.
She's like Mama Soprano.
Yes, she
hangs out.
No,
she's lovely. I love her.
5 kids? 5 kids?
Still doing my washing, but won't put my bins out. Oh, thanks, Mum. I know you're on one of those little scooters. I know you've got a shower chair, but... Right, I'll take it from here, will I?
I love the shower chair. My wife had one for a while.
What age can you be to get one?
Well, that would be just hire one.
That'd be on my gift registry right now. A shower chair and one of those chairs that goes up the staircase.
Yes.
Yeah, pencil me in.
So what happened? So you interviewed Gene Simmons.
So interviewed him. I was on the panel actually.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been more disappointed. Like right-wing Republican. Told us all what was going on, virtually poked us in the chest with his extreme views, and I've just walked away going,
It can be disappointing, can't it?
That's probably the most disappointing.
Yeah.
Just as bad with Shania Twain, but not disappointing, because to be honest, I didn't expect a lot more. So
Shania
Twain. That was a
Twain.
shit interview. That was a really...
Oh, really? Yeah, well, Shania Twain wrote songs with her husband, and then her husband left her for a best friend, and so she married. They swap partners. They swap
They're
partners.
both trying to avoid her. Doing whatever they can.
Till the one I love. She's got some good songs though. I quite like.
She was okay. It was the Minders who were really...
Yeah, sometimes the Minders are full.
It was the Minders, so I should probably clarify that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
absolutely.
How'd you feel you went? You were good?
Nah,
You booted at home?
well, yeah.
A lot
yeah.
of talking to the audience too?
I did it. I love talking to the crowd.
Same.
But I was trying to do material, to do my newer material. But man, you got everything here. You got KFC. What's your favourite takeaway?
Are you doing laps? Feels like we've passed this three times.
No.
What's going on, mate?
What's your favourite takeaway food? As a man who likes that. Do you like takeaway food or?
Mate, to me, it's 3 o'clock in the morning now for takeaway food.
Right. My wife wanted to know, do you cook?
No.
I said, I don't think he does.
No, I'll tell you why. Because when I was living on my own in my very first house, I lived in Carlton, North Carlton, and I had Italian families on either side, and the mums who lived on their own couldn't handle it. So whatever they cooked for me. So I'd have 2 meals a night cooked for me.
Fantastic.
And not only would they cook it, they would sit there and watch me eat it. You eat like a bird.
Come on, Mickey. Little Mickey.
Yes. So for that reason, Your Honour, I cannot cook.
You cannot cook. So you eat out a lot.
Now,
you get food in. We're nearly at your house.
We're nearly here. I want to have a look at see if my bar's open.
See if your bar's
Because then you can drop me here. And if it's shut, come on, baby, be open. Just a little bit further. Oh, lights are on. I think people in there. We got this.
There's people in there. Hang on.
This is quick. Drop me off. Get me in.
Yeah, I've got to turn around. I can't just... I've got to ask my questions a bit quickly. Hang on.
You need to be real quick.
What went well tonight and why?
Do you know what went well? I reckon taking our time. We didn't panic or upset and got to know the crowd, who were really lovely. I just don't think they're your normal comedy-going crowd who know the etiquette. But I really liked that crowd. They listened, and they were, they were sweethearts.
What didn't go well?
Oh, well, the royal jokes.
No, the royal jokes were the Lady Di stuff didn't go well.
Yeah, and I maybe swore too much early, I reckon.
Oh, you reckon?
Probably no need. It's just when you come up through the mean streets.
It's true.
And you go over the trenches every night at a comedy club.
It's true.
You feel that's what you have to do. But no, I should have dialed it down a notch. But I liked that crowd, and I was happy to do it, and I'll do it again.
And hang on, what organisational hazards got in the way? The room or anything? Or was it a cinema?
It's a cinema, so it's not designed. You know what it is, comedy clubs. You want them downstairs.
In a basement.
You're with a low roof. That's got a high roof. Yeah, the last thing they've seen there is probably Eat, Pray, Love. Some of them, I think, were there to see it. There's a couple down the front with popcorn. It was still, I reckon.
There were people
in the fetal position.
People,
what the hell just happened? We went into Cinema 4. We were supposed to go into Cinema 5.
There was this fat guy and this bloke called Sam Pang.
Yeah.
No, they loved it. And how can we do better next time?
No,
I don't know.
Drop Sam Pang.
Drop Sam Pang.
Get him on early and get him off.
Just in the safety spot.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, here we are. We'll go and see Mick. He's doing the comedian show. He's got to get out of the car.
This is a play. I need a Negroni. I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, get out.
They're both my catchphrases. Hey, Dave, can you come and pick me back up in an hour?
In an hour.
I'll give you a really good bit. And
another thing. You could walk home from here, surely. You walk home from here.
I can. It is uphill, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I limp and get an Uber. It's so short, I pretend, mate, I can't do it.
Yeah, I need an Uber. I'm disabled. You can't pretend to be disabled. Grilled. Yeah, anyway.
Not anymore. All right, I better go.
Good to see you, Mick.
I love you, mate.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Mick Molloy.